Hey guys, Welsknight here, and welcome back to another episode of 15-Minute Builds. And in today's episode, we are going to be doing something a little bit different. We did an episode kind of like this a while back where we did walls, and in today's episode, we are going to be doing roads and paths. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to take 15 minutes, and we're going to try and come up with as many road designs and pathway designs as we can. Now, all of them are going to be completely flat, which is what it is. It's because this is a flat world. But we're going to have at least some way for all of the various paths to go up and down in elevation. So all of them are going to need at least one type of slab and or stair. Otherwise, they won't work. Because in a real Minecraft world, it's not completely flat. So you want a way to go up and down that doesn't involve jumping. So that's pretty much it. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get right to building. I'm going to put 15 minutes on the clock, starting right now. So the first thing to keep in mind, let's just take this grass block over here. The first option is a pretty obvious one, and that is the actual path block. So you can take this and make a pathway like so. Now, one thing that I'm going to do for all of these paths is you want to change the shape a little bit, because a straight path is very boring. Now, on the other hand, there are certain benefits to having a path that isn't completely straight. If you want kind of like a rustic trail, like a walking path, a not very well kept type path, go with something that winds a lot like this. If you want something that's more industrial, go ahead and, use straighter roads and then have them turn so they don't go straight forever and ever and ever. Because, as I said, that gets boring very quickly. So, here we have a very basic path. Nothing too fancy. Let's do this. There we go. And this is just a really basic path. Path block, and then I'm using oak slabs to get the elevation change that we need. So, really, really simple. Okay, now let's get into some ones that actually require a little bit of creativity. We're not going to use the path block well, maybe we will. Just in case, let's grab it. So, coarse dirt, regular dirt, jungle wood slabs, and maybe path blocks we'll use. And I think this is one of my personal favorites right here. So let's just kind of knock out an area where this whole thing is going to go. And we'll just kind of clear this out like this, right? And then up here will be where it's going to ultimately end up. So we'll just kind of fill that in as well. There we go. So a good path is all about finding the right mix of materials. And usually what I will do is I'll find one material that's kind of like my primary one. In this case, it's going to be coarse dirt. And then I'll find another material that's kind of my secondary material, if that makes any sense. And we'll mix a few different things in. So here we have coarse dirt. And what we can do is we can just mix in a little bit of jungle wood slabs. Or jungle wood in general. Like this. And I think this looks pretty good. The color tones are very, very, very similar. And the shaders actually make them stand out more than if you were to not be using shaders. In just default vanilla, dirt / coarse dirt and regular dirt are almost identical. The other thing too, it's kind of hard to find a spot where you can do it, but dirt and coarse dirt mix very well together as well. The downside is that if it's next to grass, the grass will eventually spread to this. So that's something to kind of bear in mind. So we're just going to stick with this for now. Now, let's go ahead and vary it up a little bit. Let's grab a little bit of gravel and maybe some fences and some leaves, and actually I'm going to want some bone meal as well. So if we take this path right here and we want to make it a little bit better, we can kind of bone meal the areas around here. Then we need to get rid of a lot of these because this is way too much foliage, way too much vegetation. It looks out of place, right? Then go ahead and take a couple fences and just kind of lay them down like this. Now, the reason that you want to just kind of spread the fences out a little bit instead of, for example, laying down the whole thing is that it gives you the kind of illusion that it is very open. Whereas if you were to just fence off the whole thing, it would not seem so open at all. Then what we can do is we can actually mix some leaves in here as well into the ground. And that provides a little bit of interest. And then maybe we mix in a little bit of gravel too. Maybe just a little bit here and there. Kind of like so. Just a little kind of spread out throughout the thing. And that gives us this kind of effect here, which is pretty nice, I think. Would be very good for a nice outdoor path. And you could even add... where are saplings are over here. Right. You could even add a couple of trees to this as well. Just maybe a tree there. That's a really derpy tree. That's way, way too short, but it is what it is. It's fine. But you guys get the idea. A couple of trees along the path and all that kind of good stuff. Okay, so there's a path. Now, let's go ahead and work on another one. And we'll make this one a little bit more road-like. We'll say that this is a road. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to knock out a nice, straight 4x4 area. Because remember, we said if you want the path to seem very industrial, go with straighter sections. And then we'll grab a nice mix of different types of bricks and stuff like that. And then some slabs as well. And I think, actually, I also want some stairs. Stone brick stairs. There we go. So we'll start off, I think, by laying down a nice little row of stone brick stairs like that. And then we'll go ahead and lay down stone bricks on top of it. And the nice thing about this is that since this is less than a block of a gap, you can't fall into it, which is great. Then we'll just go ahead and knock out some of these and replace them with other materials. So we've got that. Let's maybe do a little bit of cracked here and there. Like that. And then maybe we mix in a little bit of andesite as well. Just like so. And this is kind of a more industrial road. A little bit more well-built than what we'd have over there. Okay, so there's that. Now, another road. Say you've got a road in a desert, for example, and you want to... say, for example, you've got the road in the desert, and that means you're not mixing against grass, you're mixing against sand. So, let's grab some other materials, and we'll just replace all of this with sand, because this is our border, right? Just so you can see kind of what you'd be mixing against. There we go. We'll do something along those lines. So here, one of my favorite mixes is sandstone, kind of as the primary, like this, right? And then a little bit of birch, like that. And then if you take sandstone stairs and lay them down like this, upside down, you can't really... it gives you that sandstone texture, which I really like. So this is our road here. It's kind of hard to see with the shaders, but we'll take a look. We'll deal with that in a second. So then we can maybe lay down some lights. So we can maybe come up like this and like that, and do a couple, do a little light pole, and then maybe another one kind of over here. Maybe even higher than that, honestly. We'll bring it up to here, and like that, and then maybe up one more, like this. So we'll have these kind of high lights like this, and I think that kind of creates a cool, interesting light pole. And you can vary that light design up as you go, which is also a very good thing. Okay, so we've got that. Now let's get into some unexplored territory. So we'll go ahead and kind of tear this up. And let's go coarse dirt, gravel, podzol maybe? That could be fun. And then jungle wood, and I'll grab some leaves as well. And let's grab some cobblestone walls too, and some spruce fences. Okay, so our primary dirt, or our primary block for this path, because remember, as I said, when I'm doing paths, the way that I find the best way to do it, and there is no necessarily right or wrong way to do it, but the way that I like to do it is kind of pick out what my main block is, right? And then I like to go in and mix the other stuff in. So we got that. Maybe we mix in a little bit of podzol into this. Just like that. And then a little bit of gravel, similar to the other one. And then, to make it a little more interesting, maybe we mix in some path blocks. Just here and there. And that creates this kind of nice little depth. You get a little bit of depth in your road, which is a good thing, I think. Just like so, right? Then we can take it even a little bit further, lay out some hedges along the side. Like this. We can maybe make some of these leaves from the hedges go into the ground. Like that. And maybe a little bit more like this. So we've got this kind of foliage going here. We can take some spruce fences and do kind of the same thing we did over there. Just like so. Just to kind of emphasize that this is a main walkway. Let's actually bring that over here a little bit. We'll kind of vary the lengths of those as well. And then maybe we can mix in, maybe we'll take some dark green carpet and then some gray carpet as well. And maybe even mix a little bit of stone into this path. Just a little bit here and there. I don't want to go overboard with the stone, but little bits of it could be good. Kind of like this. And then we can mix in a little bit of carpet as well. Once again, just kind of creating those layers of depth. Some people would like the carpet, some people won't. And it's fine either way. It doesn't really make a difference. It's completely up to you how you decide you want to do this. I personally don't use it very much, but it is what it is, you know? Some people might like it, and this is all about just ideas. Now, for lighting here, we've got all these leaves, so what I would probably just do is take some glowstone and just kind of sneak it here under these leaves and do that for lighting. Like this. And that will help keep this path nice and lit up and mob safe, which is always a good thing. Or, the other thing you can do, since carpet sits on top, you can hide lighting under the carpets as well. And that's one big advantage to using carpets in a path like this, is that it gives you a way to pretty much completely hide lighting. So that's a good thing. Okay. Now, the next one, this is going to be a little weird as well, a little different than what we would normally be doing. Let's just kind of clear out a way. There we go. Oh, and for elevation changes, jungle wood slabs all the way. Okay, so we'll maybe do something like this. And let's kind of widen chunks of this up a bit. There we go. And let's say you have a watery area, right? So let's just fill... Oh, no. Oh, no. I'm filling in things I don't want to be filling in. Ah! No, come back. There we go. Let's just go ahead and fill all of that in. I thought I put you out. Come back, you. There. All right. So you got this nice watery area. So what we could do is along here, give it kind of that beach effect, or, you know, the riverbank type effect by using the path block along the banks. And we can kind of... You don't want it to be completely straight like this, because that'll make it look unnatural. So you kind of want to vary that a little bit and maybe mix a couple of them out farther, right? So we do something like that. And then, say in the inside, say you want to have the path actually going down the middle of the river for whatever reason it might be. We can grab some other blocks like this and kind of lay them down in the river. So maybe there was a pathway that went straight down the river at one point. And over the years, it's been kind of broken up, right? So maybe we do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Just mix in a couple materials here and there. Like so. We can maybe mix in, I think crackstone brick would actually be better for this, given that it's supposed to be a path that's really kind of worn out and mangled. I think that would be a much better plan. And we'll just mix a couple of those in here. And I think that is going to do it. So I'm going to call it done. We went a little bit over time, 15 minutes, 11 seconds, but that's okay. That's okay. My phone rang right when I was keeping an eye on the clock, and I lost time, but that's okay. So I hope you got a couple ideas for this. We got a few different paths you can use. We got the desert one, we got some industrial. I mean, look at this. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different paths. Not too bad. And also, by the way, for this one, bone meal. Bone meal, what's left over. Bone meal is your friend when it comes to creating outdoor, nature-y paths. To make it kind of come to life a little bit. So I think that's good as well. But I think that's going to do it for this one, guys. So if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave me a comment. I do appreciate it, and it really helps out my channel. You can also find me on Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch. There are links in the video description below, so check that out as well. Otherwise, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll definitely see you next time.